Frugal fans? I am the Frugal Gamer, and today I'm going to be presenting a review for the classic Lego Batman for the PlayStation 3. Now, Lego Batman was a video game that came out in 2008. It's an action-adventure video game developed by Traveler's Tales and published by Warner Brothers. It was published for Microsoft Windows, Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Portable, Nintendo DS, the Mac OS system, as well as the Wii. This is very much like the Lego series of Star Wars, except now they went into the Batman universe. And as if you see here, there's options to select surround sound and things of that nature in this game. And of course, it's Lego Batman, so it focuses on, of course, Batman and Robin. As you play through the game, which is an extensive game, you start in the Batcave. And through the Batcave, you will see there's the Batmobile, the Batwing, the Bat-Sub, and those are entrances to things. And just like the Star Wars games, you can find red bricks to unlock special things, as I'm showing on the screen here, like invincibility or multipliers for your red bricks. Now, very much, once again, this is very similar to a Star Wars game, but just with the Batman feel. So I'm going to go upstairs in the Batcave here, and you can go to the Bat computer, which allows you to spend the studs that you've acquired and make purchases like data or many characters. And I'm going to flip through here to show you some of the characters like Batgirl, Nightwing, you get Commissioner Gordon, and then you get your regular traditional characters that are not as mainstream, just like SWAT officers and stuff that were in the game. But you also get bad guys like Man-Bat, Catwoman, Mad Hatter, the Joker, Poison Ivy, Killer Croc. There's a lot of characters in this game that eventually, when you unlock from the Batman universe, that you get to play. Now, one of the things that add a lot of value is this game has more levels than what the Star Wars did. As I said, in the Batcave, there's 3 Bat vehicles. Each vehicle is your entryway to Bat levels. There's 5 stages, and each one of those contains stories. So it's its own contained story with 5 different levels. Now, let's say you go through the Batmobile stage, go through that entranceway and beat that. I'm going to show you in a little bit. You can go to a computer in the Batcave, and then you can play it from the bad guy's perspective and play 5 more levels that way, which are completely different levels. So there's 5 levels for each section, a good 5, as well as the evildoers 5, giving you a total of 10 for each section. So you get 30 stages in this game. And there's a little bit more to it than that as well. If you notice here, my screen says it's 100% completed. If you get all the red actually, if you beat all the stages and things like that, you get 100% and build all your trophies and things in the game based on your mini kits and things like that, you will open up 2 special levels. You'll open up a Wayne Manor level in the Batcave, and you'll open an Arkham Asylum level for the villain's perspective. So it adds even a few more levels to the game, though those are different than the traditional game. One is they're both timed. You're trying to get so many studs in such a period of time, whereas the Batman one, in my opinion, is a little bit more tougher on the Wayne Manor, because you have to make sure you get every single one, otherwise you can't beat it. Where with the villains ones, you don't have to get them all. But I found the villain one more fun though. Now, as I said, this is much like the Star Wars. So if you enjoyed the Star Wars Lego brand, you'd probably really enjoy this. Or if you're a diehard Batman fan. Now you might wonder, why am I doing this? This game is from 2008. It's now 2015. Well, notice there's 3 Batmans. There's Batman 2, and then they made Batman 3 with added even more superheroes to it. And I just, being frugal, you can get this game cheap. And if this is one that you've not gotten, and you sort of go, maybe not, you might want to change your mind. Now, granted, this is a kid-type game. It is not a hard game, but that's part of the fun. You just go through and have a fun time. As I'm showing you here, I'm showing you when you build all the mini kits to build each thing in the Batcave. And I'll show you that as well in the villains. Now, the game is based on the traditional comic book character Batman and a Lego Batman toy line. Okay, yeah, and they've done very well. As I said, it's similar to Star Wars, the Lego version. As a matter of fact, as well as Lego Indiana Jones. I forgot about that. Now, this is an original story that didn't come from any comics, so it's its own standalone story. The gameplay is very similar to the other one, so if you played any, it was like on PlayStation 2 for Star Wars things, you're not going to get anything majorly different there. Okay, there's a wide assortment of characters. Each character, as I showed you there, does have different abilities and things like that. The game is mainly set, of course, in Gotham City because of Batman. And there's interactive objects that you can break, levels, obstacles, and things like that. You can walk tight ropes. So overall, you have a lot into this game. And one of the things that makes it neat is I mentioned 30 levels total, but there's even more to it than that. The first playthrough, you won't be able to get everything through a level because you're going to need other characters to access it, just like the Star Wars and Indiana Jones games. So you'll go back through it again and select free play mode and use more characters and find your way to do it. So it's very neat. Now there's another special character as well that you can unlock by finding all 25 hostages in the villain and hero levels. Now in the vehicle levels, because each one of the set of 5, like the Batmobile, Batwing, and things, there's 5. There's one level in each one of those that's a vehicle level. This won't have it. There will not be a hostage in the villain level. But if you get the hostages saved in all the other levels, you'll unlock another character, which I have also, the Hush character. So that becomes a playable character. Now, once you reach 100% in the game as well, you unlock another character, Ra Ghul. He can be purchased then and used as a playable character. So there's other characters too that can be created even by going through the villain section, which you see here. I'm in Arkham Asylum. You can actually go in there and make 2 characters. And you can make characters like Aquaman in there by manipulating the stuff in there, Black Mask, spoiler. So it does add a lot to it. Now, once again, I'm not doing the other versions. I'm not evaluating this. I'm evaluating the PlayStation 3 only. Okay. Now, it focuses on Riddler at the first part. It's the first stage, really. You don't have to play him in particular order. And he's aided by Clayface, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Two-Face, classic Rogues Gallery. Then the next set is by Penguin. You have Bane, Killer Croc, Man-Bat, and Catwoman. And then the Joker stages, you'll have Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, and Killer Moth. And of course, they're accompanied by thugs and such to add even more to the game. Alright, so as you see here, when you collect them, you put everything together, you build up these trophies in a way that you can look at. Now, notice here, I'm showing you access to the special Arkham Asylum level. Evidently, a lot of people have had a hard time finding that in the game. So if you see here, I've showed you how to do that too. So if you do complete 100%, you've got that as well. Now, once again, this is not a particularly hard game. It's actually relatively easy, but that's part of the fun. This is a fun game just to sit down and relax and enjoy the characters. Or play with a friend. A no-stress game. If you're looking for a hardcore challenge, this is probably not for you. And granted, this is on PlayStation 3, but you have to remember the time period it is, and so the graphics aren't extensively superior to like today's graphics. And so that's something to consider. But still, if you have an issue with the graphics in this, there's probably a problem. Because it's Lego. I mean, how fancy does a brick need to be? Now, another thing, though, I want you to take note on is earlier in the Lego franchise, Star Wars, Indiana Jones and things, the characters didn't talk. They grunted and things like that. That's the way this is. This is before they started actually having the characters talk. So you won't get that until Lego Batman 2. But even with that, the story, you could still understand what's going on. And it's almost, some people complain about it, but I find it cute. It sort of adds to the fun. It's almost like hearing Charlie Brown sing Peanuts and saying the teacher talk and things like that. You don't really know what they said, but you're pretty sure. Alright, so that leaves me with my final thoughts for the game. And ultimately, there's some pros and cons. The cons is sometimes the camera angles in this game make such simple things like climbing a ladder or a simple jump to be quite a challenge. Other issues I've had is sometimes an endless respawn of opponents in some areas, so they get in the way and it gets old. The artificial intelligence of the game, especially for your teammate, sometimes lacks intelligence. They either don't use any sense and do what they should, or they get in your way consistently. Also, the game uses the Robin character in the story like he's an idiot for humor. Couldn't they have done something else? Robin's actually smart. Now that I said those negatives, none of those are game breakers and things that keep you away from the game. So let's also mention some of the great pros. The game's soundtrack, once again, I mentioned a little bit earlier, is by Danny Elfman from Tim Burton's 1989 Batman film, and it's fantastic. This game has absolutely great replay value. You will get a lot of game for your money. The story, it's fun. It's good all the way through the beginning, and it mixes up a little bit with each one of the 5 sections. Each one of the 5 missions in each section of the story, which are 6, is a vehicle stage to mix it up a little bit too. The puzzles are not overly complicated, and they're just fun. The game overall is just a fun game with fun stories. Each segment has its own contained story, and to be able to see it from both the villain as well as the hero side is quite an awesome feat. And there is many great playable characters in this game to add more replay value and to continue the fun. I do apologize for some of the video in this game getting blurry and things. Hopefully, due to your guys' support and things that I've received and some donations, so thank you very much for everyone who's donated. I'll be making sure I send you special things for that. I will be using an Elgato HD60 before. Currently, I've been just using a video camera on the TV, which has caused some of these issues. So I'm going to be using an Elgato HD60. I've already gotten it, but unfortunately, I have to get a splitter first before I can use it. So I'd like to say thank you for that. Also, please feel free to continue supporting me. I appreciate it very much, and I'll keep making these videos. If there's any type of games or even retro games or newer games that you're interested in me reviewing and giving you my thoughts, please let me know. You can leave that in the comment section. Also, please feel free to hit like if you enjoyed this and found this helpful, as well as subscribe. Once again, thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing these. So once again, thank you very much.